Hi everybody. If you're a RightTool Pro user, you're in for a treat. If you've never heard of RightTool or you're not using RightTool or you're using the free version, you're here even for a bigger treat. Arguably the most powerful feature that RightTool has is a current feature that's under Experiments Pro, or is it? Yeah, it's called Batch Edit Inside Reports. So we're gonna turn that on, make sure that's on, and then we're gonna click on this little eye icon, and it's gonna say always allows you to batch edit certain fields in specific reports, and this is an area that we keep growing in RightTool. So we're gonna click right there, and here are the list of current reports, and it's gonna send you to a current spreadsheet that we're working on. Basically, we just keep control of all the reports and all the functions that we're adding to this batch edit function. Now, one of the common things that people want to use is they want to batch edit accounts, and sometimes the current reclassified tool that QuickBooks has limitations. So this one's gonna allow you to do just beyond what QuickBooks allows you to do at the moment. So we're gonna click on this link here because we have to use that link, whatever link we provide to you. You're gonna click on that link, and then that's gonna open a page, essentially a report. So we go back into our browser here, and we're gonna paste that in there, and it goes into that specific report. And then RightTool knows that because you went into that report, then it activates the batch edit. So let me do here all dates, and let's see. We have a lot of transactions going on here. Okay, and then maybe we can run a couple of filters. So let's say I want to batch edit the account in a bunch of invoices. So I'm gonna go to customize here, and then I'm gonna go to filter, and then transaction type, and then only pick invoice. Okay, and then click on run report. Now I have to be in this expanded state, right? Because the batch button is here. So I gotta click on the batch button, and then it's gonna show me all the lines, all the transaction lines that are on this report. Now we can be a little bit more discriminative and go to customize and go to filter, and then maybe pick up a specific customer. So let's say I only want to work with Chris Smith and John Roberts or something like that, and click on run report. So I have essentially less transactions that I'm working with, but that's not bad at all. So I'm going to click back in batch, and then I have a list of all the lines from the invoices for all of these we have all the lines for all of these invoices. Now, one thing that I probably also want to do is I want to show the item name. So I'm going to escape out of that and make sure that the column is showing me the item name. Where are my columns? Right here, change columns. And let's see if my product and service is something I can show here. Okay, product and service is right here. So let's put this here next to account, and let's put amount at the end. That way it's a little bit less confusing. And I'll put split here next to account. So we're seeing account, split, amount, product and service. Okay, good. So we'll click on run report. So this should be a lot easier to read. For the amounts, maybe I want to see the line amount. I don't know if the line amount shows here. Let me do quantity and rate. Maybe that's a little bit easier to see here. Let's go to run report. Okay, there we go. So there's my product and service, it's quantity and rate. Okay, perfect. Let me do one more, and let's do another filter, and let's do product and service. Let's do a specified. Make sure that it has line items. So we click on run report, and there we go. So essentially, if I click on any of these, this would be the invoices. So if I open up this in a new tab, essentially what this would be the underlying invoice. Now, what I want to do with this tool is modify the individual items, the accounts in which these items are hitting. That's kind of the purpose, right? Now, I don't have a chance to choose what accounts this account is hitting. Like if I actually wanted to see, I would have to go into more actions and click on transaction journal, and then I would have to see the underlying report to see what accounts are being affected. Now, the other report could show that, but if you look at in any individual invoice, these are showing sales, sales of product income, miscellaneous income, sales. So these are the accounts from the chart of accounts that are being used. Now I'm going to change it so all of these items hit a specific account. So let me go back into my report here, click on batch again, and instead of hitting all these random accounts, I am going to, let's say, select all the lines I want to modify. So I'm going to select a bunch of lines here, okay, and then I'm going to go to assign account, and then I'm going to put it in. Let's see what kind of, see if I have any sales account here. Let's do this product or service as income. So we're going to move everything into this account 46, product or service income. Click on run batch, and that's going to go into each of the transactions and change one by one. Now, notice that immediately the report refreshes and everything is sales of product income. Let's try this one more time. Let's go to batch. Let's do everything here. Sales of product income. So now it's going to change 41 transactions. Now, I'm specifically using this example because QuickBooks has a built-in reclassify tool, but it doesn't allow you to change the individual accounts from line items. So when it has a product or service, it doesn't let you. So what we've done is we kind of hacked our way into QuickBooks, and we are allowing you to keep the same product or service, but changing the underlying account, which was essentially hidden from the user at the very beginning. So when this finishes, you're going to see in this report, when I refresh, everything is going to be hitting that one account. See, isn't that beautiful? Everything is hitting, well, everything that I selected anyway is hitting that account. Okay, so that's awesome, pretty cool. These are the sales part of the account. Of course, we're talking about the sales side of it. So it did that. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, Hector, actually, actually, if you were to go into products and services, which I think is under sales, and go into products and services, you actually can change the account. So that's true. I can go into this thing, change the account. The problem is that if I change the account on the item and click on save, it only changes for transactions moving forward. It doesn't physically change transactions in which I've used the item in the past. And let's say, for example, I did wanted to use the option where I change the account and then click on this little checkbox that says also update in historical transactions. There's no way to put a backstop into the date. So if I click on save, it's probably going to go back to the beginning of time. So the purpose of using our tool, the batch editing tool in our reports, is so you can customize, limit only the specific invoices or the specific customers or the specific transactions in which you want to edit those accounts without necessarily editing the account on the item and go back historically from the beginning of time, right? Because you don't want to modify past financial statements, etc. So hopefully that was clear and you start seeing the power of this tool. Now, I only covered one type of thing, but there's other things that you can do here. For example, we can change, in this case, we can change classes on tagged transactions. That way, if you wanted to reclass transactions that have tags, you can do that. You can change classes on the line with on the items. So change the individual classes on those items. Change the accounts, which is the one that we just did. Change the customer project in a listed transaction. That's also very useful. Change a custom field in a transaction. Change the class or location in time entries. Change the bill payment terms. And we're adding more and more stuff to this. At some point, we'll create this as a more sort of comprehensive batch editing tool. But for now, you can use RightTool Pro, and from the reports, click on that batch button and get you there. So hopefully that was useful. See you in the next one.